I just wonder one thing is why is everyone on YouTube usually overcomplicating recipes when there is no need to? Today we're gonna make gluten-free potato cakes or potato crepes because they're a bit thinner in France, like a crepe. But we're not gonna use all this flour and all this, rasping, draining, rinsing. We're gonna do it the simple French way, which is just grating potatoes, using an egg, salt, pepper, and cook it, and it works perfectly well. Now with this, I'm gonna make also a little salad that's gonna be vegetarian, so if you're a vegetarian, you're in for a little treat. Ingredients we're gonna be using today, very simple, beautiful potatoes that are made for roasting. This is a royal blue variety of potatoes if you live in Australia. 1 egg, and I'm gonna be using my food processor. And I'm gonna use the grater, and it is the large grating size. So same as the video on the carrots, but just the one size above. So if you have a food processor, you can use this. Otherwise, you can grate by hand as well. It works. Away from that, I'm gonna make a little salad and use some farmhouse goat cheese in olive oil. That's gonna be delicious. Let's get started. All right, so first food preparation. As you can see here, I've prepared all my ingredients. For the potato crepe, this is what we're gonna be using. I've peeled my potatoes and I keep them in cold water just before I grate them. After that, we're gonna use salt and pepper and 1 egg. That's for the potato crepes. On the other side, I've got a salad I'm gonna make. Simple lettuce that have been washed twice. I've got here a mustard French dressing, French vinaigrette, pine nuts that I'm gonna pan fry or pan roast them, and some delicious marinated farmhouse goat cheese. That's it. We're gonna keep it very simple. All right, let's do this. So the first thing we're gonna do is to pan fry these ones or pan roast them. So little pan, no oil is necessary. I've got a high heat on. All right, when your pan is already a bit hot, you're gonna pour these things in and leave them here until they get a little coloration. Very quickly, as you can see, the natural oil contained in the pine nuts is coming out and you get that effect, you see? So you don't want to go much further than this. You're not kind of trying to charcoal them, you just give them a little bit of color. So I'm turning my heat off, put my pan on the side, and I will reserve them in a small container. All right, so I've just grated my potatoes, and as you can see here, they look very good. They're yellow flesh and they're ready. I'm not rinsing them because we need the starch in order for the potato cake to happen. So from here, the only thing you do, salt and pepper. Make sure you put enough because that can be blend potatoes. I'm beating 1 egg. And bang, everything over. When this is done, I'm just gonna mix everything very gently, and immediately, I repeat, immediately, you have to use your mix, otherwise your potatoes will tend to go kind of brown or dark, okay? Now this is the result you should have, and that's ready to be cooked. All right, back on the stove, I'm using the same pan, really high heat, 3 tablespoons or 2 tablespoons of olive oil. It has to be very hot, and immediately you're gonna take your potato mix and put a fairly good amount of potatoes in your pan. Once this is done, you can try to basically make a nice circle, making sure everything fits together, and we're gonna let it cook for at least 4 to 5 minutes. You can reduce your heat a little bit so you don't burn everything, and you leave it without touching it for 4 or 5 minutes until the bottom part gets brown. All right, I said about 4 minutes, but it's more like 7 to 8 minutes. So from here, basically it's kind of ready. You could flip it like a crepe, but to avoid that, when I'm gonna use a plate here, I'm gonna put my plate like that and turn this over so you can see, okay? When it's done, flip it in. That's the easy way. Otherwise, you can be a bit of a stunter and just flip it like a crepe. Okay, if you want to flip it, it looks something like that. Alright, perfect. So we've got our potato crepe, and as you can see here, they're very thin. It's a very, very thin size. That's why it's called a crepe. And basically, before you serve them, you can use one of those. And like the other thing, they're very easy to cut. And just slice through. I put them on a paper because it's just easier to kind of... Okay, and we're going to use this basically for our salads. So as you can see, a little presentation of those. These are what I called potato crepes. And that's it, guys, the table is served, and look at this little salad. This is basically my take on a potato crepe little salad recipe. Sorry, it's a bit messy. So what do we have? We have the potato cake, some simple lettuce. I've sprinkled the pine nuts over, just some chive from the garden, and to decorate a piece of basilicum on top. That's all it takes really to make a nice little recipe. It's nice, it's gluten-free, and it's suited for vegetarians, so really try it at home because these things, the potato cakes, are really delicious. But anyway, that's it, guys, for today. If you like the content, please subscribe or comment. I'm always trying to respond to any comments, and I see you next time on my next video. Bye bye!